we've stopped halfway along the highway. We're in a little town called Mosier, and we stopped for an ice cream. And we met this chap called Stephen. Very interesting. He was just filling us in on some of the history. And I shall pass you over to him and Wanda. Hello, Stephen.
What would you like to know?
Well, you were just mentioning that, first off, you got to tell us what you do.
I sell vintage Porsches.
Vintage Porsches. And down at the back there are some vintage Porsches. And they look beautiful. But no, Stephen, you were telling us a bit about the history of Highway 30?
Yes. Route 30 was the first cross-country highway in the United States. I believe it was around 1923. Starts in Atlantic City and goes to Astoria, Oregon. And it's still a major highway being used on the East Coast. The goal eventually is to have the Scenic Highway open all the way to Portland. Right now it's only open in sections for cars.
And also you mentioned an interesting tidbit about the white line.
It was the first highway to have a dividing line, the first highway to have the white fences to keep a car from going over the edge. It was the first highway to use as a type of aggregate that they were experimenting with. This was the one that they tried all the new things on.
Okay, and this was the Mother Road.
This is the Mother Road.
The mother.
Okay, and then I also heard an interesting story that okay, so they built I-84 afterwards, and the historic highway kind of got forgotten.
It got forgotten, and the tunnels that they cut into the mountain up here were filled in with rock in 1954.
Wow.
And then in the past 15 years, they took out all the rock, re-supported everything, and then opened them up, and it's like a state park now.
And this building actually is an old garage.
It was built in 1923, initially as a tumulum lumber building, and then it was a garage and repair place from the 40s on.
So it was originally a lumber...
Yeah, lumber building. Mm-hmm.
You've done an amazing job, Stephen.
Do you know the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band?
Yeah.
These are my boys.
Oh my goodness.
That's Jimmy. That's myself and my wife, and that's Jimmy Fadden. He's the harmonica player. Jimmy Woods, the movie actor, helped him find that 356.
Oh wow!
Oh, for God's sake!
Wow!
So you got a bit of a reputation.
I've been doing this a long time.
And then these are your cars you got right here, eh? So on the right, the silver, what's that?
That's a 78 SC that has been being prepared to be a race car. So I'm trying to find somebody that's interested in putting a motor and a transmission in it, and they've got to get a start for a race car.
Yeah.
You say this is your personal car?
That's my personal 72 911. It's got an 84 3.2 engine in it.
Oh man, it's something beautiful.
And the blue?
Blue is a little 74 Carmen Ghia. Sweet little Easter
That's a 74?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, they look absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay, if anyone's interested in Porsches, you gotta come here. Place is fantastic. It's not just about the cars, it's also about memorabilia. He's got vintage posters from the heirs, and he's got some fascinating photos here. He's got one with himself and Mr. Jerry Seinfeld in LA, and Stephen does some fascinating stuff here. We're gonna have an ice cream, but once again, thank you very much, Stephen.
It's been great.
Thank you.
All right. And they're called the Rowena Loops. Check it out. just come down the other side into the Dalles. We started off at Troutdale, and here we are. The original highway, when it was built in 1922, was 74 miles. There's only 40 miles open to vehicles now. The rest is open to bicycles and walkers. But one of the most historic roads in the States. Fantastic, loaded with history. For all you motorcyclists, if you want to scratch your pegs, this is not the road. If you want to walk down memory lane, check out some fascinating history, see some stunning scenery, then this is the road. What do you think, Wanda?
Absolutely. Check it out.
Absolutely check it out. Okay, from the Bull
And the goat.
and the Muskox, have a good one.